Welcome back to the Glow Up Girl podcast. I'm Kyra. All right, let's welcome Valencia to the show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Kyra. I'm excited to
Awesome.
be here.
Yes, I'm glad to have you. So let's start off by having you tell the audience listening or watching who you are and what you do.
Okay. Well, my name is Val Dantzler, and I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I am the gratitude grandmaster. Okay. I'm a coach. I'm a neuroencoding, an elite neuroencoding specialist. So I combine the power of the transformative power of gratitude with neuroscience, how the brain works and how we work as human beings so that people can have a transformation.
Awesome. All right. So first, we have to dive into your own journey. So let's talk about you becoming a life coach, and then also you're an elite, like you said, neuro encoding specialist. So talk about that a little bit.
Okay, I would love to. It's my pleasure. So really, 6 years ago, I found myself in a really, really dark place. Okay. Um, and I had been that way for really quite a while. And I'd gotten to the point where for me, I was saying enough was enough. I thought I had tried everything everything, right? I'd
Mhm.
gone to therapy, I'd done a lot of different things, and nothing is wrong with any of that. Um, so I had basically set a date for myself. I set a date a week out to say what I call bye bye to this world, right? Because nothing was getting better for me.
Mhm.
And I was constantly rehearsing it in my head that nothing was getting better for me, right? And so I say that during that week time, the universe sent something to me called gratitude. And I didn't know what that really was. It didn't even come in the form of the word gratitude, but I overheard a video and someone said, start uh, looking at what you're grateful for every day. Well, I was the type of person where I would wake up. I mean, before I even woke up really good, what bills I couldn't pay, the relationships that didn't work for me, the love
Mhm.
lost, family situations, all of those things I would rehearse in my head and it was on automatic before I even really opened my eyes really good.
Mm.
Show you where I was. So I started practicing gratitude. Long story short, by the end of the week, I felt this much better.
Mhm.
And I, to the point where I said, well, let me delay because nobody, of course, knows this, right?
Right.
End of the month, I wanted to live. You couldn't tell me anything. I wanted to live. So then I went on because that episode that happened to me, I was like, this totally has changed me, right? Because I was this way for years and now I'm this way.
Mhm.
Why did that happen? So that's where neuroencoding came in. It let me dot my I's and cross my T's and really understand that this is a real thing. This is not a fluke, but there's
Mhm.
science behind this as to why it happened. And so,
Well, first of all, I want to just say thank you so much for your transparency. That's really important, and I really appreciate you because obviously you have overcome that season, but it probably still can't be easy to like go back to a time and remember that. And I just want to thank you for that because I think that is so important for people to who may be listening or watching to understand that like if they may be experiencing something similar that like you're not alone, it is okay and you found a way. And I also just appreciate, like I said, the honesty, because there are a lot of people who may not wake up and have gratitude, especially when you wake up in the morning, because it is more often that people are going to be thinking about the things they probably went to bed thinking about. Oh, I can't, I got to pay this
yeah,
thing. I can't pay this thing. Like, how am I going to get this? How am I going to get food? How am I going to do all these things? And I think
yes,
like the first step is like a lot of times we are saying to people like, oh, you've got to have gratitude. You've got to have gratitude. And I will say like one thing I do appreciate, like when I do talk to my therapist, is that she always says like, it's okay. Like, it doesn't take away from the relationship that you have with God, or
Right.
that you appreciate and are gracious, and you have gratitude for things. It's also okay to say that I'm not okay and I don't like how I feel right now, and to, sit in it, but not sit in it too long.
Right, exactly. That's the
Yeah.
key. See, we have ups and downs in life. I mean, everyone does. I have ups and
Mhm.
downs in life, all right? But let me tell you, this is the thing. We don't I used to stay down for a long time. But the thing is, you've got to have tools and processes so that,
Mhm.
okay, I'm down, you're aware of it. Let me get up quickly.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's really the key to
Mhm.
this whole thing. That's the key to happiness in life,
Yeah.
right? It's better to smile through life than to go around like this, right?
Right.
Which
Yeah.
one is a better quality life? Smiling. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the things I teach my students. That's something that's you have a smile. The creator gave you a smile. You can look up and smile because you can't think bad thoughts
Hmm.
looking up and smiling. It's just a
Yeah.
key there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, and at some point you have to decide like what you want, and you can choose to stay down, because when you're down, I mean, like there's nowhere to go. Like in your mind, there's nowhere to go other than down because
Right.
you just
Right.
keep like telling yourself, I can't, or it's not gonna get better. And it's like you have to manage, almost like while you're manifesting, you gotta like
Yes.
fake it till you make it.
Right, exactly. Well, it's all programming, right? Like you think of it this way, when babies come out, right?
Mhm.
When babies are born, how many babies smile? They're smiling. Like they
Mhm.
cry, right? But they automatically can smile, right?
Yeah.
I think that's really the way that we were created, was with love in us and to
Mhm.
smile, right? So it's the programming from really the outside world that
Right.
makes us frown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So which is more valid, you know?
Right. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can program yourself or have yourself program or default to the world and just be down, or you can command it yourself and say,
Mhm.
you know what? And it's not really it's commanding yourself. So now it's something that I do automatically. It
Mhm.
becomes automatically. So are you saying, not you, but anyone, this is not
Yeah.
fake, this is real? I
Yeah.
feel really, really, really good. I'm different than what I was 6 years ago,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's on automatic. So you can program yourself, is what I'm saying. You can
Mhm.
program, you can neuro encode yourself to feeling great and commanding your life. You really can. And
Mhm.
manifesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you put out, you get back.
Yes. So yeah, let's talk about, so your book, one of your books, so the Black Woman's Mindfulness Journal and Coloring Book. So it's
Yeah.
intriguing. Definitely love a good coloring book. So can you talk about the inspiration behind it and how it aligns and plays a part in your coaching philosophy?
Okay, so definitely, of course, gratitude is the foundation of everything that I do, right? Because it
Mhm.
totally changed my life, and it's a scientific thing too. What you focus on the longest becomes the strongest, right? So
Mhm.
focus on good things in life, even if it's the smallest thing. So the gratitude coloring book, I have the Black women's coloring book, and I have the one just the women's, right?
Okay.
And so there's a page each day where you can just write down your gratitude. It's your prompts, different prompts and things
Mhm.
for the gratitude, right?
Mhm.
And now, as I started this process in the beginning, I found meditation. It was hard for me to meditate at first, but through this practice of gratitude, I it was like an automatic to go into this meditation. So
Mhm.
I wanted a way that I could give someone a book and they
Mhm.
could have this experience that I have every day, every morning when I
Mhm.
practice this gratitude. I'm writing my gratitude in my journal. And then all of a sudden I go into this meditation, right? And sometimes it's before, sometimes I do the meditation first, sometimes after.
Mhm.
Well, coloring. When we were kids, we would color, right? And it was
Yes.
fun. And it was, well, guess what? Coloring is a form of meditation because
Mm.
it's using that other
Mhm.
side of your brain and it's creative, being creative, and you're coloring and kind of you're in this just different zone and you're smiling
Mhm.
and you're happy. So I combined the two. And
Mhm.
so it's a wonderful, beautiful experience. I say
Yeah.
set a time for yourself. Get your favorite beverage. It could be water, okay? It could be wine, whatever it is for you.
Yeah.
And write down your gratitude and then color. You cannot make any mistakes with this.
Yes.
Everyone's pictures look great. So that is the reasoning behind the books.
Awesome. Yeah, I love I mean finding adult coloring books was like the best thing ever because like I still was buying like just regular coloring books for kids because
Yeah.
it was so relaxing to like just color and it's like, oh, if I want to color in the lines I can. If I don't want to color in the lines, I can color how I feel like coloring it. But
Yes.
then I started to get like adult coloring books and I was like, "Oh, I love this.
Yeah. It's
This is great."
beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they're
Awesome.
mostly ladies in there, and then there are just other flowers and things like that in there. Of
Mhm.
course, the Black women's coloring book. It's really more African American, African people that are in there,
Mhm.
and you color, and it's just beautiful. I mean,
Mhm.
I've made the lips blue, the hair purple. I mean, and they just it just really looks wonderful.
Yeah,
It really
yeah.
does.
I like that. Now, you talked about manifesting earlier,
Hmm.
and the power of our thoughts, right? So, can you talk about like if you've got other examples of how you've used manifestation in your life, and how do you recommend people that you coach or just someone who might be listening? How can we do it too?
Okay. So, a key for manifestation is you need to detox. Detox the mind, right?
Mhm.
Because you've got to get all that clutter, all that mess out. The gratitude is really going to help you do that. And it's going to give you a foundation where things are really going to start happening for you, right? In the positive,
Mhm.
just by noticing the smallest things. And when you write it out, you have documentation, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
That these good things are happening to you. So when you put yourself in that mode of gratitude in the morning, it magnetizes your whole day, your whole everything, and it starts
Mhm.
to compound
Mhm.
doing it daily. So
Uh-huh.
you're putting good things out, and good things are going to come back to you, right? You can
Mhm.
have intentions of what it is that you want. And you can even write those things in your gratitude journal, scripting them as they've already happened. That's very powerful. So
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
many, many manifestation techniques that you can use. But the first question is always to ask yourself, what is it that you want? Not what your mama wants, not what your sister, your best friend, your husband, your girlfriend. It doesn't matter. What do
Mhm.
you want? So you have to get still. That's where meditation becomes a part of that. Get still. Ask yourself, take deep breaths. Breath work is great too. Ask yourself, have a moment. Ask yourself, what is it that you want?
Mhm.
And visualize that thing.
Mhm.
Okay. So in my meditations, I have a visualization that I personally do. I've done it for the last probably 3 or 4 years now. And it's like a
Mhm.
movie in my head. It's like my ultimate day. Certain things have happened for me.
Mhm.
I play this movie. This is my meditation. I sit back and I play this meditation, this movie in my head. But do you know, it's been 3 years, but aspects of those things have come into place already and they've already happened. The people that I would have needed to have met for certain things to happen, I've met those people. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So this is all a part of manifestation. Gratitude, get yourself on that high playing that high frequency, I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
right? Visualizing what it is that you really want, sitting back, asking yourself the question, coming up with that movie, and then repetition, playing it, doing this practice over and over again every day.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
to take a long time either. 5, 10 minutes is good.
I like that. And I like the approach that you take because I think that's important. The first thing you said that was really important is for people to just like, what do you want? And
Yes.
is what do you want, not what people, like you said, not what your family wants, not what like your partner wants or whatever. Like, what do you want? And I like how you refer to it as a movie because I do like as a storyteller, myself, like I see things in like stories or like it's like playing out in a movie almost like and it's so funny because like I think some of us do it all the time. Like right, like I think some people like there's a I guess not, I don't know if it's a practice, but like maladaptive daydreaming, right? Where people are
Uh-huh.
like sort of daydreaming this life or what you want to happen. And people, are like, I see so many people on like TikTok and online are talking about like, oh, they get lost in it. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, and so even to the point where people are like, I'm ready to go to bed tonight so I can go to my other life. But it's like
Yes, this was
through
true.
through manifestation, like that can be your life if
So
you yeah, oh go ahead.
I'm sorry. Now, this gets me really excited. Okay. I love talking about this. When you meditate, when you visualize this, first off, you got to know there is a force, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, the great I am, wants you to win. This
Mhm,
thing that you have created, everything is a creation. The fact that you're having this podcast was a creation in your head, it was an idea in your head, and now here we are. You understand? This is real.
mhm,
Everything comes from a thought first. So, getting even into quantum physics, what you are imagining, you must know that this is real. This is not just, oh, I'm just imagining. No, this is real. Okay. There's
mhm,
quantum physics. There's people have been in Japan with a certain frequency, and then they're all the way over in Australia with another frequency, and the things can kind of match up. And they things start moving in the same direction, and they're quick. It's just because you're here and you're visioning something here, it's
mhm,
real. You got to know it. Now, this is quantum physics. It gets a little deep, but it's real. Quantum physics is science. It's real.
mhm,
Okay. But you got to know it's real. That's the first thing. Not just a hope, a dream, a wish. This thing that I'm imagining is real
mhm.
and it's coming towards me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I like
manifestation.
yeah, I like that. And I like that I like the approach. And I
Mhm.
think people can take that and learn how to apply it to their lives. But first, know what you want. Start
Know
there.
what you want. Right. Know
Yes.
what you want. That's the beginning. That's the beginning. You got to know what it is that you want, right? And
Mhm,
you don't have to know you want to make it as crystal clear as possible, but you're also up for you may want something a little bit different. And it's okay to kind of change it, right?
mhm,
But first, you got to have the courage, and this was me. I did not have the courage to even think about what I wanted back then, what I
mhm,
really wanted. My life consisted of meeting other people's expectations. I was a people pleaser, and I was I didn't have time to think about whatever my boss wanted, whatever my relatives wanted. I wanted
mhm,
to whatever their expectations of me was is what drove me.
mhm,
But I never even knew to even entertain and ask myself, well, what do you want?
mhm.
Because my picture of success may look different from what other people's picture of
Right.
success is.
Mhm,
I know people who have you would think they have everything. And people might have looked at me and thought I had everything,
mhm,
right? but people are not happy. There are rich people that say bye-bye to this world all the time. And you would think, oh, if I was in their place, if I had this money, if I had this, but that is not the case. It's the inside of us, what we
Right.
interpret it to be.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I think that's definitely such a fair point. Because people do all the time just say, oh, if I had their money, yeah, if I
Right.
had, yeah. But everybody has their own internal struggles, and people are always going through things that you person looking from the outside that we may not see. So it's just important to give people grace all the
Yeah,
time. Like I always just say that you gotta give people grace, you gotta give yourself grace. And
of
so all
course.
right.
Yes.
So now on the concept of gratitude, right? So if people are listening or watching and they're thinking to themselves like light bulb went off today, like Val girl, I hear you. I just want to know, I'm not, I haven't been doing it. Like I want to get started.
Okay.
What is your recommendation for someone to, just even begin the daily process?
Okay. So get yourself a journal first. That's the first.
Mhm,
I always go back to what I did, right? I
mhm,
was never a journaler, but I felt like, okay, if I'm going to do this, let me write some stuff down. So go
mhm.
get you a journal. This is my gratitude journal, by the way. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, get you something that resonates with you, right?
Mhm,
Um, get yourself a journal. It's a blank journal, right? And start. Okay. Start with a page a day and write down, it can be bullet points of what you're grateful for. It can be
mhm,
something small like I can see the sunlight coming through the window. In fact, that
mhm,
was the first thing that I put down
mhm,
because I couldn't, my brain was so scrambled with inundated with all my
mhm,
problems that that's all I could put down. So it's okay if you're putting down the small things. Put
mhm.
down 3 to 5 things. It takes you about 5 minutes to do it. If that, go put it down, check off for the day, praise yourself that you did it. All right. And
Yeah.
have it by you for the next day. Right.
Mhm.
Have it by the, I, funny story. I slept with my journal in the beginning because I didn't want to mess this up because I didn't want it to be
Mhm.
in another room somewhere and I wouldn't do it. So I had it
Yeah.
right by me. I said, well, nobody else was in the bed with me. So this was okay.
But you're right, because you have to make it accessible. And for it to become a part of your routine, it has to be available. And because
Yes.
if you upstairs and you got your gratitude journal down in the kitchen, I mean, at night you're not going to think, well, whether you decide to do it, mornings and evenings, like you're not going to do it because you're gonna like it's not here.
Right.
Or
Exactly.
you'll be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it
Right.
tomorrow.
No,
Yeah.
I ask people to do it for at least 5 consecutive days, please. Make an appointment with yourself
Yeah.
to do it. Set a timer on your watch or
Yeah.
on your phone now and do it, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yep. Just
do it.
start.
Yeah.
Start.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. I love that.
And I also have a gratitude challenge too that
Oh,
I give
okay.
people for free. They can just go to my website and they can get it. It's 5 days of gratitude. So,
Awesome. All
yeah.
right. I like that. So why don't you tell us how you work with people? So if people are listening, watching, and they're like, I want to learn more. Tell us where they can connect to you and how they could work with you.
Okay, so definitely my website, valdancer.com. They can connect with me there. I'm on YouTube, I'm on everything. YouTube, I love my YouTube. So I do a
Mhm.
webinar every Sunday, a live webinar every Sunday. They can register for that. That's on valdancer.com. But they can also see this on YouTube. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. I love to.
She's everywhere.
I'm everywhere.
Everywhere.
Val
Okay.
Dantzler.
Awesome. I love that. And we'll put the link in the show notes so that you all can easily assess and have access to Val. And okay, so Val, now we're gonna transition to three things with Val.
Okay.
And just three questions to help us get to know you a little bit better. So the first one is a two-parter. It's how do you start and end the day?
Okay, so how do I start and end the day? So I wake up in the morning and I open my eyes and I'm like, wow, okay. And
Mhm.
then my journal is right beside me. Okay, it's still there. And I get up, I get my comfy chair, and I just start writing. I never know what I'm gonna write, but I do write down 3 to 5 things
Mhm.
that and I put on some nice frequency music or something, right,
Mhm.
in the background. And I'm just right. I never know what I'm gonna write, but it becomes amazing.
Mhm.
Okay. And I believe that what you write, you invite. So it's just amazing. It's an amazing experience, right? So I do that in the morning. Um, at night, what I do is I sometimes I meditate. It depends. Maybe something has gone on that day
Mhm.
that I feel like I need to kind of flesh some things out, right?
Mhm.
Or I need to kind of analyze some things or whatever. I'll get in a quiet place and I'll meditate, put on my frequency music and I'll meditate. Sometimes that meditation is 5 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes. Okay. It just depends. I really get into it and
Mhm.
I love it, right? I'll do that. And then I may do some kind of reflection at night with some journaling. So I guess I'm
I like it. I
yeah.
like it. What's a goal or intention you set for yourself this year?
Okay. This year I want to do a retreat for my birthday.
Okay.
And so it's either going to be Puerto Rico or Hawaii.
Okay.
And my goal is to have at least 10 ladies come and join me, right? For
Awesome.
this retreat. So,
Awesome. Love that. All right. And the last question is, where are you currently finding inspiration?
well, YouTube is like my jam. Okay. There's a couple of people that I really do like to follow on YouTube. And
Mhm.
it's just my jam. Also like to read books. So I am reading a book. I like how-to books. I don't not necessarily a fiction type person,
Mhm.
but 10x is better than 2x is a book that I'm reading right now, which
Mhm.
is I really like that book.
Okay. All right. I like
Mhm.
it. Fantastic. Well, it's been so nice chatting with you, Val, and just you coming here. And first of all, your personality is infectious.
Oh, thank you.
It's so great to hear your story. I appreciate your very much your honesty and just you walking us through because you're the light. You know, you found your light and now you're spreading that light to others. And it's so great to have people on who have actually experienced the journey that they are teaching to others because sometimes people are talking about gratitude and you know, it's like at the core of it's like, did you pick it up? Because a lot of people are talking about
Yeah.
gratitude, or I mean, but you have walked through the
Oh yeah.
fire, so to speak, and
Yeah.
you've come out on the other side. So it's just been really great chatting with you. And the last thing I will ask you before you leave is to leave our audience with 3 things you'd like for them to take away from our conversation today.
Wow. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for all that because I do what I do because I want to help people, right? Like I know what it feels like
Yeah,
to not want to go on. And
yeah.
that's a real thing. And I just want to help the person out there, the people out there that if you are there, I want you to just not give up. Don't give up. There's help for you, right?
Mhm.
And gratitude worked for me. It's worked for a lot of other people. And it's amazing what a pen and paper can do for you, right? So just
Mhm.
start, practice, start, just take the 5 day challenge and just see what happens. Give yourself that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I had. And I gave myself that. I didn't
Mhm.
know that all this other stuff would happen. Right.
Mhm.
So don't give up. Understand what you write, you invite. So
Mhm.
write down gratitude. You can only put good things in here. That's it. Okay.
Yes.
The third thing I would tell you, smile and look up.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Well, Val, it has been a pleasure Thank you so much for being here. You can always come back and share with us in the future as well.
Thank you. I would love to. And you have a wonderful show. I love everything that you're doing. You're beautiful. I can feel the love. I can feel it. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Awesome. Stay tuned, everyone. I'll be right back.